What's up, YouTube? Combat here, and today let's compare Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. And I'm only going to be looking at the multiplayer for this comparison because I haven't played enough of either campaign or zombies to get a full kind of review on which one's better. However, after playing hours of both the multiplayers, I think I've got a fair comparison here to be able to draw a conclusion on. I do think both games have plenty of room for improvement. However, I will talk about the things they did well, even though in some cases they may be a little bit less than what you expected. Nonetheless, let's talk about the three main points I'm going to be talking about in this video, which are innovation, map design, and then everything else that jumbles into the game, kind of reasons to keep you playing for hours and hours and hours and hours and keep you coming back day after day after day. So let's start with innovation, and let's start with Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 was the second advanced movement game. It came right after Advanced Warfare, which was the first game in the Call of Duty franchise to introduce advanced movements. A lot of people felt with Advanced Warfare that the advanced movement system was very chaotic, random, and just didn't work for Call of Duty. So Black Ops 3 took it down to its core and figured out this chain-based movement where you had limited moves, and it really kind of restricted how vertical you could go, what you could do with it, and it really changed the system that they used in Advanced Warfare and made it better. This is probably the best we're going to get for advanced movement systems, even though I don't believe they should be in Call of Duty. I think Treyarch did a very good job at perfecting it and figuring out what worked out well. The other thing that we never seen before in Call of Duty was wall running. They brought that in, they took that from Titanfall, and they said, we're going to put it in our game. And it works for the most part. They've definitely designed some maps around wall running, which is fine. And I'll talk about that more in the map design part. But overall, I do think that they did a good job with the wall running. The other thing that they innovated, they changed, was specialist streaks. So these specialist characters that you get to hold and play in Black Ops 3. A little different than anything else we'd seen in the Call of Duty franchise. We'd seen kill streaks before, but never specialists, where you slowly earned this meter and you got a weapon or a trait at the end of it. Really cool. Something different, even though I still don't think it's got a place in Call of Duty. I do think it was a cool little innovation. It was something new to the series that I wasn't really expecting, but I'm happy that we got. It's not something that I want to see in every single Call of Duty, but I'm very happy it was in Black Ops 3. It added to the diversity and the variety of the gameplay, and I really enjoyed the fact that I could use all these different specialist weapons and traits, and they're very distinct and different from one another. That I really did like. Other changes they brought in was swimming to the movement system, as well as no more panic knifing. They added the two-hit beatdown kind of weapon butt hit, and that was such a huge change to the Call of Duty franchise because so many times you'd enter into a gunfight and somebody would panic knife you and boom, you're dead, and you couldn't really do anything about it, and it was very frustrating because it really just took no skill, just a quick reaction and a click of a button, and all of a sudden you were dead, even though that you probably deserved to win that gunfight. I really like the fact that they added this weapon butt and the two-hit melee. Now, I don't want to rant too much about supply drops, but they were the first game to have earnable crypto keys to open supply drops. And the other thing they did later on in the game's life cycle is they brought in contracts so you could earn different kind of rewards for doing different things, along with getting the 10th specialist, which was Blackjack. You could get mercenary contracts, which gave you time to play him. They balanced it out very well. I did think they did a good job with it, even though I don't want to talk too much about supply drops in this video. I did kind of enjoy the fact it did add contracts to the game. So let's start with innovation, and let's start with Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 was the second advanced movement game. It came right after Advanced Warfare, which was the first game in the Call of Duty franchise to introduce advanced movements. A lot of people felt with Advanced Warfare that the advanced movement system was very chaotic, random, and just didn't work for Call of Duty. So Black Ops 3 took it down to its core and figured out this chain-based movement where you had limited moves, and it really kind of restricted how vertical you could go, what you could do with it, and it really changed the system that they used in Advanced Warfare and made it better. This is probably the best we're going to get for advanced movement systems, even though I don't believe they should be in Call of Duty. I think Treyarch did a very good job at perfecting it and figuring out what worked out well. The other thing that we never seen before in Call of Duty was wall running. They brought that in. They took that from Titanfall and they said, we're going to put it in our game. And it works for the most part. They've definitely designed some maps around wall running, which is fine. And I'll talk about that more in the map design part. But overall, I do think that they did a good job with the wall running. The other thing that they innovated, they changed, was specialist streaks. So these specialist characters that you get to hold and play in Black Ops 3. A little different than anything else we'd seen in the Call of Duty franchise. We'd seen kill streaks before, but never specialists, where you slowly earned this meter and you got a weapon or a trait at the end. So let's move on to Infinite Warfare and let's see what they did to innovate this year and change Black Ops 3. Okay, so movement system. Well, they borrowed the same chain-based movement system from Black Ops 3 and brought it into Infinite Warfare. Feels the exact same way. Nothing new there. Brought in wall running. People loved wall running in the first game. Let's add it to this game. Okay? So that's not innovative. What did they add? Weapon variants, but those were in Advanced Warfare, so How about these rig abilities? But those are essentially specialists on steroids. So they didn't really innovate there. If anything, they made the specialist streaks a little bit more powerful. What did Infinite Warfare do to innovate? Oh, they added mission teams. That's what they did. They added mission teams. Wow. Great innovation for the most ambitious Call of Duty ever. The Call of Duty in space that no one asked for. If you can't tell, I do not think that Infinite Warfare did anything to reinvent the Call of Duty wheel. They didn't add any innovative parts to their game. Overall, it's just a disappointing launch this year, and I'm very upset with it. Due to lack of innovation in Infinite Warfare, I'm going to give the innovation point to Black Ops 3. Now let's move on to map design. And I think Black Ops 3 did a very good job with their maps. I do think that they have, Treyarch is just a tremendous track record of doing tremendous maps. I love most of the maps in Black Ops 1. Love a lot of the maps in Black Ops 2. And in this game, none of the maps are really that memorable except maybe Hunted and Combine. But overall, all the maps are pretty good. They play well and they flow well. And that's really all I can ask for from a Call of Duty. And I think they did a fantastic job of integrating the new movement system along with wall running and swimming to make a very good map every single time. They didn't add too much of one thing and not enough of the other in any of the maps. I don't feel that I have to wall run in a certain map to gain an advantage, but at the same time, I like the fact that I have that option to gain an advantage over my opponent. I like the fact that I can use elements of surprise, like on this map where you can go underneath the middle platform there by the tree and you can pop up on the other side and really kind of surprise your enemies. I like those kinds of different intricacies in a map. I like the fact that the more you play a map, the more you learn about a map. And overall, I think Black Ops 3 did a very good job of bringing this movement system and giving it good maps along with it. I think Advanced Warfare, part of its downfall was the fact that the maps just weren't very good and they didn't really lend themselves well to a lot of verticality and led to a lot of random gunfights. In this game, I don't feel there's a ton of random gunfights. Sure, there are here and there, guys come out of nowhere, but that happens in any Call of Duty. I think overall there is a method to the madness on these maps. I do think the flow overall is pretty good and the choke points are there as well. And now to talk about Infinite Warfare's maps. Boy, how do you take a system like what Black Ops 3 did and just not do it very well? There's nothing about Infinite Warfare's maps that are memorable. Nothing about those maps that make me say, oh boy, this map, I'm so excited. There's nothing there for me in this game. There's nothing there that excites me every time a map comes up because a lot of the maps feel the same. They all look the same, except for the exception of a couple here and there. They all have this very meh look to them. They all look like Destiny maps at the end of the day. And hey, don't get me wrong, some of the maps in Destiny look great, but they don't look great in this game. When you're on Mars and you're trying to make Mars maps, I think that just needs to stop. Can we stop making Mars maps? It's boring. I just don't think they did a very good job of making the maps feel distinct and different every time you play them. This map just feels very They're just meh maps. They're not enjoyable. Nothing about them, screams to me as like, yeah, this map. But in Black Ops 3, they had those moments, and I think there's something about being able to, mix, I guess, the new mechanics with making them make sense in a map. Here it almost feels like they just threw in wall running areas just to say, okay, we're going to just throw one here because we need one for this map. And they don't really work. Nothing flows well. You never know where enemies are coming from. I spend more time running around looking for enemies than I do doing anything else in this game. And it is very disappointing because there's really no choke points. There's no flow. And as I like to say, there's no method to the madness. And overall, I do think that Black Ops 3 just has better maps than Infinite Warfare because, well, when I can't have fun on your maps, I don't enjoy the maps that I'm playing, there's an issue there. And I do think that they need to look at that big time for Infinite Warfare. So I think it's safe to say that Black Ops 3 once again earns a point for map design because their maps are different, give you a unique experience every time you play them versus Infinite Warfare's maps that feel the same every single time. Now to quickly touch on everything else. I think both games have done a tremendous job of giving us diverse gameplay, giving us different options to play and how we play. I think, giving us game modes like Infected and Gun Game give us more options onto what we play. We're not forced to play and take the game super seriously all the time. And that's one of the things I love about those game modes is we can just kind of sit back, play, and have fun. I think weapon balanced was almost perfect in Black Ops 3. A couple guns I would have tweaked some more. And I think we can expect the same level of weapon balanced in Infinite Warfare, just, well, with variants worked in there somehow. I don't understand that decision to have variants in the game. But at the same time, Infinite Warfare, you gotta get your shit together and get fucking leaderboards and combat record into your game. It's inexcusable to not have it at launch. I can excuse the custom emblem builder, but leaderboards and combat record need to be in your game at launch. It's just one of the things that has been in every single Call of Duty ever. And the fact that you don't launch with it is inexcusable. Going into it that you need that. So just to recap, guys, I do think that Infinite Warfare is going to be just fine. I think it's going to be an okay game. But Black Ops 3 is just a better flushed out game, more fun, and definitely more enjoyable, more variety to it as well. I do think the specialist system is better than the rig system. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below with a comment. Which game do you like more? Do you like Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare? What are the reasons why? But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more from me, please hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys, Combat signing off. Peace.